Good morning. Today I'm going to show you the Bluetti Elite 100 that I use on my camper. It's brand new. It just came out in August. They started manufacturing it, and I got one of the first ones. And so far, I've used it twice. I've had a couple of problems with it, and I'll explain to you what happened to me when I was using it. I wanted to show you the app. Let me turn the camera down. Okay, this is the app right here. One thing I wanted to show you is that when the unit is off and you try to start, it won't come up. You can't find it. So what you have to do to begin when you're starting to use it is you have to start the unit. Then you can try again to connect, and you can see that it came up. Now this Bluetti app, you can download it. It's fairly easy in the app store. You can get it. When you're using it down in this area, you have the DC and the AC. If you want to turn on the DC, you click on this button. It says turn on DC, and you do. And now it's flowing. There's 0 watts going out, but that's okay. I'm not hooking it up to anything. If I want to turn on the AC, I have to do the same thing down here on the AC. You just click on that button, and you turn it on, and now the AC is active. And on the alternator charger, this is the alternator charger part here. And when you have it in the car and your alternator charger is on, it will show power going into this supply. Now, one thing that I wanted to talk about is when I first put in the alternator charger, I downloaded that app and I couldn't get it to show up anywhere or work until I actually bought this unit and had it connected, and then all of a sudden the app comes up on my phone. I don't understand that exactly, but the alternator charger and the charger work together, and the app is really nice to have. Also, I want to show you these inputs right here. This is your DC input. This is the input from the alternator charger, this part. And we have 2 other little 12-volt DC outputs right here, which I do use those. I use all of these outputs here. And I use 3 of these AC outputs. I have 4. There's just one I'm not using on my car. But this is the input. And I'll show you how it goes onto the car in just a little while. This is the app that goes with it. And the alternator charger works with it. I'll show you that also. Here I am outside trying to show you about the alternator charger. As you can see, this is where I've gotten it hooked to my battery. And the wiring, it's a 16-foot cable that comes with the alternator charger. And if you can run the cable straight from your battery and straight through the firewall on your car, it's long enough. It would reach down into the floorboard and run back along the edge here. And it would be long enough to go all the way to the back of the car where I wanted to put mine. However, my car was not built that way. So what I had to do, because of how hard it was to get the wiring through the firewall, I had to take the wires and I run it back up along underneath here. I'll try to get you a good picture of it. There you go. And the only good place that I could find to go through my firewall was way down in here. Some extra space, so I had to have I needed more room. I had to, that's about another 4 foot over and another 4 foot back on my car. My cabling had to come up underneath here. I had to take loose all my glove box and take it out and put the cabling through and underneath. It comes out over here in my car. So you can see the route it had to go. And from here, I went back over and around into that breaker. You'll have to work out on your car whatever is the best route to get it to the back. Hopefully you can just go straight through, you know, straight from the firewall, through the firewall, and back along the edge of your car and into the back. I had to mount it. This controller, this alternator charger controller is right here. You can see how I set it up underneath the sink, because that's just how long the wires were. I had to mount this breaker. That's another thing that they send with you. You have to put that in line, in the hot wire line, so you can turn the breaker on and off. When it's not in use, they recommend that you turn it off, so that's what I do. And here's the controller for the alternator charger. The power from your battery goes into that, and that controls it and gets it into the right kind of power that comes out. Now, you know, if this is setting close to your generator, you don't need this extension wire that I had to buy. I bought some extensions that brought that power from there clean through and through a hole that I had to drill in my cabinet to route these wires. You can see I run the 110 volt from the generator up through there also, which goes up to the top. And I also run the 12 volt power supply through that hole back along the bottom and over to the back of that seat where my television sits. So yeah, it was a little trouble, but if you understand what you're doing and know in advance how you're going to set it up, it's not really that bad. Now, when you get the generator in here, I'm going to stop this for a minute and put it in. Okay, maybe I'm showing it now. You can see this is the way it sets in there. And I have these different plugs, like this one, for instance. It just plugs into this lower output. It's got 3 12 volt outputs. And I cannot see what I'm doing. Okay, there's one. I mounted this fan in here because I was having, I think, heat-related issues with it. That's why I was going to tell you, it went off on me 2 times in the middle of the night. And I think it's because I've just got it in too tight of a place, and it's getting hot. So I mounted this fan, and it connects to one of these. This other one connects, and it connects to my cameras, the power for the cameras. This one is the 12-volt power supply. It goes in here. Oops, here we go. Really hard to see. And then I have all my 12-volt plugs for the other things, the cooking stove and the lights. They're all 12-volt. Anyway, that's the way it sets in here. I have these straps built to hold this into place because I don't like things bouncing around while I'm driving. I don't want anything to slide or slip, so I put it like that. Over to the side here, I have a, this is the alternator input. It plugs in right up here. If I can get it right, can't see what I'm doing. Yeah. So the alternator charger comes right back into this. This is the part that Bluetti supplies with your alternator charger, and it has connections that connect to that extension. Like I say, if you don't need the extension, it'll connect straight into your alternator charger. Will go straight into these, and then this comes with the generator, and it'll go straight into your generator for an alternator. Now that part works good. I've got to tell Bluetti, if I can, that they did good on that part. Some of the things that don't work good, though, is like this right here tends to vibrate out while you're driving. I've had to stop a couple of times because it just vibrates out. It's just not a good tight fit as it needs to be. Now I've installed this O-ring, which I seen on YouTube. It's supposed to make it a tighter fit, so I'm going to try it next time. You just put that O-ring around it, and then you poke it in like that, and then it becomes a whole lot tighter. I believe this is going to work like that. And this fan, I think this will overcome the heat problems that I'm having. I'll just turn 12 volts from this to the fans. I'll turn it on, and I'll run it. I only had the trouble at night. I've had it at night twice, so I'll just run this on low at night and cool this off, and I believe that'll solve that problem. Next to it, I have put a place for a battery. I have a 1000 amp hour or 100 amp hour battery, 100 amp battery, 1000 amp hours, and I have connected a connector to it so that if in the middle at night, as I go to bed and I don't want to run the car, I can unplug this. I can take the battery. It has a plug just like this that I've connected through Anderson couplings, and I can plug it in, and now instead of 1000 watt hours, I have 2000 watt hours, because this one's 1000 and this one's 1000, and it gives me 2000, and I can do anything I want to do while I'm sleeping, or run fans or whatever. A heater is what I'm planning on trying to test out next. I have a small 450 watt heater that I'm going to try as the nights get cooler to see how it works. I believe that'll wrap it for today. I believe that's going to do it for today. And I thank y'all for watching me, and I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe and like. It helps my channel. I'm shooting for 1,000 subscriptions, and I'm a long way from that yet, but I've just started. So all the help you can give me, show your friends, I would appreciate it. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.